Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Nick. Today is Together in Marriage Tuesday. Give me 1 second. Okay, I had to get that alarm off. Anyway, today is Together in Marriage Tuesday. As y'all can see, I am here without Pastor Frank this morning. She's still going through healing. She's getting better. So next Tuesday, she'll be back with us. Hopefully, she'll be with us in church on Monday. I just want to give everybody a shout out. Good morning to you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about, is your man, your husband, your boyfriend, the person you're hoping is going to be your husband, your man, emotionally invested in you. Now, before I get going today, I want to say, we don't do these things for you to kind of pick every little thing that we say and then go back to your husband and beat him up with it. That's not the point of it. It's a way for you to see when they are moving, when they're gravitating, when they're going the right way. And one of the things that I tell folks often in marriage counseling is, you have to make sure, number one, that you're willing to accept responsibility. So, if we go through all of these things that, and you're sitting there saying, well, my husband isn't any of those. Well, if your husband isn't any of those, it may not be just your husband. Or it may not be, when your husband goes through the things about the wife, it may not always be just the wife. Sometimes we have to, in relationships, if we want them to go, if we want them to develop, if we really want them to get better, we have to be able to take, watch this, 100% of the responsibility of why the relationship is where it is. We have to be willing to take and accept 100% of the responsibility of the relationship for why it is where it is. That's the question you have to ask yourself. And then you have to ask yourself another simple question. Are you prepared to work and do your very best working on you to fix that part of the relationship? Okay? So I just want us to keep that in mind. The purpose of this is not to point blame. It's not to find fault. It's to understand where we're at in a relationship and how to help us help the relationship get better. So if you're on here and you're listening for your husband today, this is about you, not about your husband. The things I'm going to give you are the things that are the barometer to help you understand is your boyfriend. Or if you're not married and it's a boyfriend, now you got a little bit of a different situation, because now you have to decide, are you going to be the one to invest to fix this, or is it better for you just not to be in this relationship? Amen. Good morning, Natifa. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Madeline. Jerry, good morning to you. Good to see you. We're praying for you. Amanda, good morning. Annie, good morning. Toya, good morning. Harry, good morning. Lakeisha, good morning. Candace, good morning. Mark, good morning. Cynthia, good morning. Karen, Joan, Elba, Shanika, Miss Johnson, Michael, good morning. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, everybody. And listen, for my men that are on here, it's a good day for you guys to kind of listen up to see where you should be. So let's get into it. Is your man emotionally invested in you? What are some ways that you can identify this? What are some things that say they are? Number one, they get proactive or they get protective. They get involved when over you in any way that you don't feel well. You're well. Either you don't feel well, your well-being is being attacked. There's something attacking you. People are attacking you. Your family is attacking you. Let's say Fran and I, let me just use Fran and I as an example. Let's say her family is coming against her. Do I side with her family or do I side with her? That's a sign of being emotionally invested in your spouse. If you're taking the side with her sister over your wife, that's a problem, gentlemen. And ladies, that's a problem if your husband's doing that. There is an emotional disconnection between you. I don't care. Let me tell y'all something. My wife can love the Dallas Cowgirls. That could be her team. But, period. Y'all know I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But if somebody's arguing with my wife over the Cowgirls, I'm going to defend the Cowgirls. Believe it or not. Pastor Nick's going to defend the Cowgirls. And you can notice this in any relationship of authority. If somebody cares for you and somebody respects you and somebody's emotionally invested into you, you're going to put their best interests before yours. Things like, when my wife goes out, she don't have to think about if I have a jacket on and she gets cold. She knows she can get my jacket. She knows she can get my jacket. Right? So you need to understand, are they emotionally invested in you? Say, for instance, your wife wants to go to eat steak. Now, and again, this is all based on financially where you're at. So please hear what I'm saying. But let's say, for instance, your wife likes the Longhorn Steakhouse. It's okay. But you know her favorite steakhouse is Eddie V's. If you're truly emotionally invested in your wife and you know she wants to go eat steak and you can afford it, right? It's in the budget. You would take her to the nicer place. You would take her to the nicer place, right? When you're emotionally invested in somebody, you make time for them. You make time for them. Their well-being is important to you. I remember one time I wanted a Slurpee and my wife was on the way home and she was all the way to our gate. And y'all don't know where we live, but Boggy Creek is a pretty long road and the 7-Eleven's at the end of Boggy Creek. And she said to me, I said, hey, could you stop and get me a Slurpee at home? And she said, no, I didn't say that. I said, where are you at? Where are you at? Because if I would have said, can you stop and get me a Slurpee? She would have never even told me she was at the front gate. She would have just turned around and went and got it. My wife loves me. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Loves me with every part of her being, right? So I asked her, where was you at? She said, I'm at the front gate. I said, oh, I wanted a Slurpee. She said, oh, I'll go back and get it for you. I said, no. Don't worry about it. I'm good. But that's who she is. She loves me. She's emotionally invested into me, into our marriage, into our family, into our relationship. I am the number one thing in her life, period. Before my children, before our grandchildren, I am the number one thing in her life. She is the number one thing in my life, period. Before my children, before my grandchildren, my wife is the number one thing in my life. Before any of my church members, yes, right? When somebody is emotionally invested, they generally care about the details of your life. They're going to ask you, they're going to want to understand, what went on at work today? What went on with that situation? They will, remember those details. They'll know what's going on, right? They're invested in you. And again, when these things aren't going on, don't look to your husband or your wife. Look inside. Why is your wife not emotionally invested in you? Why does she not care as much? Why does your husband not care as much? Maybe it's something you're putting off, you're doing, right? So we have to think of these things. An emotionally invested man is proactive when it comes to ensuring that your health is good, right? He wants to make sure you're well taken care of. Why? Because he wants you around. When my wife's doing healing, I'm here tending to her. I'm not going nowhere, right? I'm going to make sure she's okay. She's got what she needs. She's healing up, right? you know, when somebody's emotionally invested in you, you observe their responses. Are their responses quick and short? Or do they take time to talk to you and explain things to you? Do they leave you hanging without giving you the information to make you feel good about where things ended or where things? Sometimes my wife and I will be texting. I'll be like, man, get this, man. I pick up the phone and I call her. Right? How involved does your husband get you in his life? Does he talk to you about what's going on with him and his family and his work and, whatever? Are y'all having real, watch this, real conversations? Or are you just talking about your partnership? Are the bills paid? Is the grass cut? Did you do this? Is it all about the honey-do list? Are you guys having meaningful and engaging conversation? Does he introduce you to his family and his friends? If you're dating now, right? Are you being introduced? Right? My wife knows everybody. She don't really even like this. She don't like it when I introduce my wife to everybody. When I join a new company, after I'm there for a little, I make sure everybody knows who my wife is. My work friends, my basic friends, everybody knows we're one, right? We're one. Another real way to know if your spouse is emotionally invested in you is, do you guys talk about the future together? I'm not talking about things. I want a house. I want a car. I want that. Do you talk about the future together? Do you talk about your lives together? We get so caught up in always talking about things. It's like talking about going on vacation all the time. Where are you going to go? You know what my wife and I do? We pick a place typically a year ahead. And, we want to go. Right now we're thinking about going to Switzerland. That's the new place we've been looking at. So we start my wife will get all kind of on it. She'll, we want to understand when's the best time to go. What are the best things to see when we're there? And we watch movies together. We talk about it. We plan it, right? Are you guys emotionally invested? Is your husband emotionally invested, right? So I just gave you a good example there. If he's not, how to get him emotionally invested. Instead of just talking about a vacation, taking you somewhere, a way that you as the wife can start this. Pick a place you want to go in the future. Maybe you're going to go on a cruise. Pick a cruise boat. Man, you can connect YouTube to your TV. You can lay in the bed. You get some popcorn, and you go through a whole couple of, sometimes they have hour-long things on the boat that you're going to go on. You learn everything about the boat together before you get there. Why is that important? Because now when you're on the boat, you have a lot of things in common to talk about. You have a lot of things in common to go see. This relationship thing takes work. It doesn't just happen. Amen. So I hope these pointers helped you out today. Obviously I know I'm not going to do as good without Pastor Franny here to help me, but listen, she's doing well. Pray for her just to continue to get healthier. I'm praying, there's a lot of people going through healings right now. Listen, I want to just tell everybody, wash your hands a lot. Listen, wash your hands a lot. Flu season's coming up. Wash your hands a lot. Wash your hands a lot. Are you listening? Wash your nails a lot. Make sure you're taking your vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. Make sure you're taking your daily supplements, your vitamins. Make sure in this season you're eating better. Eat more vegetables. Eat less fried food. Make sure you're exercising, right? Let's take care of our physical bodies. Listen, I love you guys. See, I told you all that because I'm emotionally invested in you guys. I don't want to see you guys sick. I don't want to see you guys going through a healing, right? So I have time to share with you. Why? Because I'm concerned. Why? Because I love you. Why do I do that? Because I'm a pastor. That's what I'm called to do. I tell you all the time, your calling shows up. Your calling shows up. I love the people God sent them. I'm concerned about them. My wife and I, we want the very best for y'all. We're praying for your success. We declare you're the head and not the tail. You're above and never again beneath, and no hurt, harm, nor danger can come by your dwelling. We're believing God for you. We're believing God for your relationships. Amen. So we love you. We love you. We love you. Until tomorrow, Pastor Nick saying, enjoy life.